Hello everyone and welcome. Today I have for you another idea for Mother's Day card. This is actually the card that I'm giving to my mom. I've been inspired by a few watercoloring videos I've seen some time ago. They masked off the middle, then they painted at the top and the bottom, and then they wrote a greeting or a quote in the middle. To make this card, I will not be painting my own images, I'm using stamps for this. Here I'm using a stamp set from Newton's Nooks Designs with peony flowers. You don't have to use this particular stamp set, any similar stamp set will do, or even critters would be perfect for this. For the masking, I'm using a washi tape. I also use the VersaFine ink in Onyx Black. This is a waterproof ink, which is important. As for the watercoloring, I use the Zig brush markers. These markers are water-based markers. You can use them with or without water, and for this card, I will be using them as watercolors. I started by attaching the washi tape in the middle of the cardstock. This is where I will be stamping the greeting. And I'm using the Canson XL watercolor cardstock that I cut down to a panel slightly smaller than A6. Then I started stamping. I stamped first the big image with the two flowers, and then on each side I stamped the single flowers. And because I'm stamping the same pattern on both sides of the panel, which is mirroring the one on the top, I flipped the cardstock and I stamped the image at the bottom right after I stamped the one at the top. As you can see, I'm using the Mini Misty stamping tool for the stamping. This makes stamping much easier and also allows me to restamp, which I need to do every time I use watercolor cardstock because the watercolor cardstock has much rougher texture. Before I stamp the two flowers on each side, I masked the image in the middle. I placed them over the big flowers and then I stamped the two flowers on each side. I already had two masks pre-made. I used a post-it note with the full adhesive on the back. I stamped the flowers on top of the post-it note and then I cut them out with my scissors. I had to create two masks because the post-it note wasn't big enough. After I was finished with the stamping, I started coloring. As you can see, I also replaced the washi as I took it off and then I realized I still need it for the coloring. To color the flowers, I used the Zig brush markers. If you have any other water-based markers, you can use those. I applied the marker at the bottom of the petal or at places where I thought the darker part of the petal would be, and then I used my water brush pen to spread the color across the petal. If you do not have a water brush pen, you can also use normal brushes and water in a jar. There were also parts where I only used the marker. Those were these really tiny petals. I will speed up the video a little bit more and play some music and show you the coloring of the flowers in the top row, and I will be back once I'm done. So I finished the coloring. As last, I colored the middle of the flowers using a yellow marker, and then I removed the washi. In the place where the washi was, I stamped a greeting. I used an old stamp set from Clearly Besotted. It fits perfectly in this space. The stamp set doesn't have a specific greeting for Mother's Day, but I use the words "just for you," which is not only perfect for this occasion, it is pretty much a neutral greeting and it can be given for any other occasion. Lastly, I add here the panel on top of a card base that I made out of craft cardstock. I was thinking adding some embellishments like sequins, but I don't think this card needs it. The colors are so bright, they are their own embellishment, at least in my opinion. So here's the finished card. As I said, I really love the colors, I really like how it came out, and it's very easy to make. And I hope you will try making something similar yourself. This would work with many different stamp sets. If you, however, would like to see more ideas for Mother's Day, just click on the playlist on your screen. Here you can find many ideas for cards that you can make for Mother's Day. That is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.